everyone, this is Lauren Fairbanks, and today I'm going to be talking about the criminal James Dean Worley for my Criminology 101 final project. For a brief overview for this final project, I'm going to be talking about who is James Dean Worley. I'm going to be talking about his background, kind of his history, where he grew up, and some of the crimes that he has committed that led him into jail today. I'm going to be applying routine activity theory to Worley's criminal behavior. I'm going to conclude, and then my references, and then say my thank yous. Next, Worley spent most of his life in Metamora, Ohio, which is a very small town in Ohio where there's just more cornfields than roads, and there's barely any houses, and everyone just knows everyone. His father was an Army officer with alcoholism and abusive behavior, which led to his parents getting divorced when he was around 5 years old. He struggled academically with a 1.59 GPA at Evergreen High School, and then he began using and selling marijuana around age 14. Now that I've shared some background information on Worley's history and kind of how he grew up, here's some continued background information on some of the major crimes that he has committed. So overall, he has had various encounters with law enforcement. So one of the first crimes that he committed was that he kidnapped a woman named Robin Gardner in 1990. And this is the woman on the top right. That's her picture right there. And she actually was able to get away from him. But then in the 20,000s, he got in trouble for growing marijuana and having weapons he was not allowed to have. And then in 2016, he kidnapped and murdered a woman named Sarah Joggin, and her picture is on the bottom of the screen. And actually, side note, this Sarah is a family friend of ours. I chose the routine activity theory. So just some background information on it. It was developed by Lawrence E. Cohen and Marcus Felsen in 1979. And this routine activity theory looks at how crimes happen in daily life, not why someone does them. So it doesn't look at the person's character. It focuses on chances to commit crime in the situation. So this picture on the side is kind of showing the chances to commit crime. So it's saying if these three things are present, crime is most likely to happen. So again, but to go more in depth, crime happens when these three elements are present: motivated offender, suitable target, and absence of a capable guardian. So motivated offender is just a person who wants to commit a crime. Suitable target is a person or property that can be stolen, harmed, or victimized that a motivated offender sees. And now you have an absence of capable guardian on top of that, where no one is around to stop the crime. The motivated offender is going to go after that suitable target to commit a crime. So the relationship of routine activity theory to Worley starts off by Worley, just being that motivated offender due to his history of drugs, having that marijuana, having those illegal weapons, stealing, and just overall criminal behavior. So I'm going to be referencing back to the kidnap stories, but, these kidnap stories are exactly the elements that created his crime. So again, he was that motivated offender. He saw suitable targets. He saw vulnerable, girls. He saw that there was also no guardian around and that it was unsupervised, low-risk environments for him to be able to go about that crime. So some background information on these kidnapping stories is that Robin Gardner and Sarah Joggin, even though that these kidnapping stories happened about 20 years apart, he kidnapped them the same way. They were both by themselves, riding their bikes on a country road with cornfields all around. No one else was around. So again, he saw that vulnerable people, he saw vulnerable girls but riding their bikes by themselves, and then he saw that no capable guardian was present, or there was no houses present, there was no cars, there was no other people around him. And unsupervised low-risk environments, that screams a country environment. There's low risk environments. Not people are not going to think that something is going to happen, especially in a small town. These kidnappers both happened. This kidnapping situation both happened in Ohio, and they were both hit off their bikes and then kidnapped. So it's crazy that these happened 20 years apart, but they're very similar stories. And it ends as Robin Gardner got away and Sierra Joggin was further kidnapped and murdered, which is just so sad. But it's crazy to say this, to see the routine activity theory come to play when, it was that suitable target. There was no guardian parent around, and it was just low risk environment, and then you had that motivated offender, and that overall created two crimes that were very big. In conclusion, the routine activity theory explains the situational factors that allowed his crimes to happen, not why he was motivated. So overall, James Dean Worley, where is he at today? He is in prison in Ohio. Worley was found guilty of the abduction and murder of Sierra Joggin. Worley is on death row now, and something, very positive and empowering that has been happening after this tragedy is justice for Sierra, and this has been taken off. And justice for Sierra is just about educating, protecting, and empowering young women so that similar tragedies can be prevented. Here are my references, and the main one that I used was the documentary by ABC News, She Was Almost Home, which is about all the story and the whole event with Sierra Joggin. I would like to take a second to say thank you for watching and thank you for a great semester, and I hope you have a great Christmas and happy holidays.